So, hey everybody, this is a subreddit that we're going to be trying out today. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I really feel like I should. This is r/quityourbullshit, which is basically where you have a picture of some sort where, one thing says one thing, but then you have information that says otherwise. Here we go. I just read the peer-reviewed research that is readily available to the general public, so that's all. Saying I can't share facts about vaccines because I don't have a medical degree is like saying I can't share a recipe because I didn't go to culinary school. Interesting. We're going to get very political. I just realized the first top two are going to be heavily political. So this is going to be interesting. You know what? I'm okay with this. Getting a little bit controversial here. All right. So HBO, Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment. Is this an ad? This is an ad. Fuck my ass. This is an ad. I hate you. Ad, get the fuck off here. This is a video. I'm not paying for you. No, you're not paying me to be in feature my video. You're blurred. And I'm bleeping everything I just said about you. I don't care. How are people okay with living with their careers revolving around slandering / integral omitting / lying? Dad accused of leaving 5 kids, all under age 8, home alone so he could go to work. Man with a wife who has cancer and 5 kids leaves children with a babysitter who abandons them while he works hard to support them. So let's see here. Dad accused of leaving 5 kids. She wouldn't say whether he worked at the store she manages, but she did say he left his children with a neighbor who had kept them before, and that the neighbor was then left the children alone. Okay, see, that's the thing. It's like, this is one thing I don't like about a lot of the medias that we get nowadays. You get these very false, kind of fronty sort of titles. You'll get like this thing, and then it's like, in truth, if you even do, let's say, in this case, 30 seconds of digging, you can figure out, okay, this is not everything that's, chalked up to be. I don't really keep up with the news a lot because I see these so much. I can't think of any off the top of my head because, once again, I don't look at these stupid tags. But if you look, never assume information you see as this is 100% of the story. It's never meant to be. Like, that is a tagline right there. That is, like, meant to grab your attention. And it's like, dad accused of leaving 5 kids under the age of 8 home alone so he could go to work. Then you look, okay, under what situations did this occur? Was it justified? Was it anything? Now, a lot of people will say, oh, you can't justify that sort of action. It's not acceptable. Well, okay. It sucks if that is the entire story, but look beyond the tagline. Read the articles. Understand that they are going to want you to think one thing, and this is why news is so weird right now, is it skews to whatever side they are politically, or whatever sort of headline and story they want with it. Like, when they say that the media runs itself, that is true. It's up to us to distinguish what that story actually is. Like, for example, was he right in leaving that person with a babysitter? Possibly, depending upon the history of that one. We don't know the babysitter's side of the story. If like the babysitter was like, oh shoot, my mom has cancer, that sort of thing. That's something that, needs to be taken into consideration. Now, we don't have the babysitter's storyline, so we go off the information that we have, and she wouldn't say whether he worked at the store she manages, but she did say he left his children with a neighbor who'd kept them before, and that neighbor then left the children alone. That's the thing to walk away from. That there is no such thing as there's no such thing as 100% of a story. There's always mitigating factors and stuff like that, and it's up to us, as the reader, to hold this shit responsible. This is not acceptable behavior, in my opinion, for, a major news outlet. I mean, that's ABC, which is typically, I want to say, left-swinging. I want to say that much. Left-leaning, maybe. But it's like, that's not acceptable behavior to just literally focus in on this point and go like, okay, no, here's what the story you need to know. And then you see a person call them out. But it's like, that's the thing that they'll run for the news, though. That's a political rant right there, and I do apologize. But people, you're smart. You are smarter than these people make you out to be. Please, learn from this and call their bullshit. Okay, next article. What an amazing woman. All right? Not a role model. I think so. Okay, sorry everyone. Excuse me. One of the first women to start her own independent production company. True. Earned her way to stardom without sleeping with executives or for roles. Debatable. Refused to date people for publicity just because the 20th century wanted her to. Okay, so she avoided like kind of the idol sort of situation. Left 26 pounds. She refused to let them get away with treating her badly and paying her a tiny wage just because of her dumb blonde image. Okay, that's a very bold thing to do, especially back then. Was only paid a fraction of her co-star. I can't verify this. I don't know how much money she made. Okay, had a personal library of over 500 books and rarely read fiction. She was desperate to learn and educate herself. Okay, that's a bit weird. Just because a person reads nonfiction doesn't mean that they're superior to a person who reads fiction, in my opinion. Now, granted, if like there's certain things that like make sense. Like for example, I work at a video game store. I do like nonfiction. World War II is in a very interesting time period. If you've never read it or researched into it, there's a lot of stuff that transpired over what was essentially like less than a decade's worth of war. But personally, I carry a lot of fictional stuff because that's what honestly my job kind of calls for me. I mean, I read comic books. Let's see here, what else do I do? I mean, I watch movies and stuff like that. I'm surrounded by fiction, but that's because it's appropriate for what I do. She's a method actor. She's gonna need those, like, she's gonna use more nonfiction so she gets into the character's mindsets. History is a very important sort of thing, so I think that's a bit of a leaning comment right there. But to say that because you read fiction you can't be a role model, that's stupid. I disagree on that one, but okay, sure. Let's just, for the sake of argument, she's the good person because she read the dictionary and other things that are real and not made up and stuff. Okay, fair. A personal library of over 500 books. I probably have close to 300 to 400 myself. I'm not bragging about that, so I don't think that comment really makes sense. Was sexually abused as a child, but then went on to encourage the sexual liberations of women in the 1950s. Okay, more power to you. That's very important. I can understand why that's important to some people. It's not the most important thing to me about this sort of list, but, that's just showing, like, strong character. So, yeah, I'd say that's a quality of a strong role model. They're the first people to openly support gay rights. I see no problem with that one. Makes sense. Supported many child charities such as the Milk Fund, March of Dimes, Arthritis, and Rheumatism Foundation. Sorry, folks, I lost my brain there for a second. If you find it in the comments section, please, hand it back up. Donate your time and money to these charities. That's okay. That's kind of the same thing. Just strike that, leave it there. That's all good. Visit orphanages and hospitals on our own time to surprise the people there. That's cool. I know that there's a lot of people who do that sort of stuff. Like, I know that WWE has a full program dedicated to, having wrestlers go meet kids and stuff in, like, children's hospitals and things like that. So, I mean, that was long before they started doing that sort of thing. So, cool. Kudos to that. My opinion is support the people. Married one of the greatest literary minds of the 20th century. Also true, but then divorced him. Suffered 2 miscarriages and 1, oh my god, ectopic pregnancy and still put on a brave face for her fans. That is true. I guess that does make it, there. Let's see. Marilyn is the biggest role model as my biggest, so don't even go there. Okay. And let's not forget this. Oh, that's right. Ella Fitzgerald was allowed to play the popular Macambo in Hollywood because of her face. Was not allowed because of Marilyn, who loved music and supported the civil rights, called the owner of the Macambo and told him that if he booked Ella immediately, she would take a front table every night. The owner said yes, and Marilyn was there, front table every night. After that, Ella never had to play in a small jazz club again. That's awesome. That is cool. Okay. And whoever you are, you're wrong. Sorry. But it's like, this is so much more of a person. This is so much more to her than, just simply that. And I feel that happens to a lot of people. I mean, people who do a lot of good work, and the one bad or 2 bad things, like, they're oftentimes really bad things. I'm not saying that they should be justified in that, but it's sometimes a lot of the good that they do is overblown by just one bad thing. And I'm trying to think of a great example at the moment. I kind of want to point out, like, James Gunn and stuff. I mean, that man's career has been very up and down. Now, I don't know if you want to equate, something that he did years ago and, got paid the price for it and stuff like that. And now he's back in. It's perfectly fine. But, like, that, in my opinion, almost ruined his career there for a little bit, where he was top of the world. Guardians of the Galaxy, in my opinion, is one of the best Marvel movies out there. And it was just such a shitty thing to happen to him. I mean, he's a good guy on the bottom line of it. And I think, he's definitely changed as a person. And to kind of give this some time period, this is post him back in Disney. And I think that, there should be a level of forgiveness to people, especially when it's something, simple as that. And like Marilyn Monroe is a great example where, it was a stupid thing. It happened. We can't really get past it in that situation. But, we can learn from it. Don't let that be the thing that marks her. She's a fantastic person, in my opinion. A great example of kind of like that listings that we saw. That's perfect. That's a great way to kind of perceive her. A couple of those facts were skewed, but you do what you can. And it's like, I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here is, take the good with the bad sometimes and learn to be, objective on people. Don't label them for just the quickest thing you know. Hey everybody, this is the ending of the video, and I do apologize for ending so abruptly, but I actually really enjoyed this session. I spent a lot of time in this sort of kind of development of it, and I realized I can't make it all into one video. I want to go ahead and break this one up into 2 parts. I want to come back to this one later on. There's another couple really good articles that I kind of found in that situation, but I really enjoyed going through these Reddits. I'm really starting to think that this could be something I want to kind of recurring sort of segments. I know I probably got a little bit preachy on this one just because, I do tend to be a little bit forthright in what I kind of personally think and very kind of morally focused, as well as my political, ideology, I suppose. And I do apologize if I came off a little bit preachy. But I really enjoyed this series. If you do enjoy this, let me know down below. If I got preachy, tell me, I can tone it back a little bit for next time. But I really enjoyed it. If you want to see more, let me know down below. If you want me to do something specific, let me know down below as well, and I'll try some other stuff. If you have a specific Reddit you like, let me know as well. And of course, everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. That's the reason why I make these videos. I want you guys to enjoy the content I make as much as I enjoy making it. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always. And I will see you, of course, in that next video. Bye, everybody.